All right, folks. Sunday morning coffee. Just a heads up. This is going to be the last update for a little while. I'm stepping away from everything. Now, let's get to that brass tacks. 7 years ago, 3 months, I started what I'm doing. I started what I'm doing because essentially I was unemployable at the time and I had to do something for money. And this is what I wanted to do. And it's still what I want to do. But I've said it many a time, and now I'm finally taking my own advice because I'm stupid and slow. If you're going to do any business and be self-employed, you have to be good at the trade and business. I'm not particularly good at business. I know this. I've known this. I backed myself into a pretty heavy corner. I spent the last year paying down shop debt since we moved out here and maintaining, and that's all I did. August started backsliding. April, I had a partner come in. There was a lot of talk, a lot of bolstering, and that recessed to very emotional times. And then said partner just walks away. Okay, that's fine. Disappointed? Yes. Upset? Mad? No. It just, I've dealt with it a few times, and that's okay. August, I started laying out applications. Early September, I started receiving interviews. Bug. Blowing up phones, major manufacturers, things like that. I got my interview with Vermeer Manufacturing Monday last. Tuesday, I had a paint evaluation. Wednesday, I got a job offer. Thursday, I had a very long conversation with the property owner. I laid everything out because when power blew up here mid-September, it was a perfect storm. I lost phone service at that point. The carrier I had was providing me service ceased to exist, and I had to go through a lot of crap. I basically had to get new service and port my number over and give me a carburetor, I can figure it out. Give me a computer. I really just want to hit it with a large mallet. But I laid everything out, honest, and I tried not to get heartfelt or morose, but I know I did because it's a very emotional subject for me. Anyhow, I'm supposed to hear a verdict here very soon if we can work this out and if I can get a contract for purchase. My ideal is a contract for purchase of the 12-month balloon because I can make that happen. And then I can purchase the property. We don't have to move, la-di-da. If we do have to move, I haven't quite got that figured out yet, so let's hope for the best. I'm going to move forward as the best. I'm going to expect that. I have faith in certain factors involved. Where does that leave me? I'm hanging up Smith Welding and Restoration. It gets to go night-night. I'll keep the name around. I'll keep the shop account around because I'm not stopping. See, where this leaves me is I spent 40 to 60 hours a week just trying to get work in here, get it done, get it paid, pay my bills. I spent a lot of time. I spent over 1,000 minutes on the phone every week, funneling business in, shoving product out, getting paid. And I've found, even with my wholesale customer, whom I'm no longer speaking with, that it gets very difficult at times just to get paid. The project could sit for a week, and I don't have the proper stage set to really approach them with any great authority. I can be bitchy and whiny, but I don't have any great authority on the subject because I'm just a little backyard shop right now. Well, little backyard shops build some of the best cars I've ever seen. I would rather be that. My advice to people is be good at business and your trade. My advice to people is typically work for someone who's good at business. Make your money. Go home and do what sings to your soul. Do what you enjoy, what you want to do, what you like. And that's how you complete that cycle, that circle. I had been in a position for so long, self-employed, that I didn't know how to go about getting straight work. And I did it. It was necessity at that point. It's one of the best things I've ever done for me and my family. I will have 26 guaranteed checks a year. And the thing of it is, like I said, I spend 40 to 60 hours a week just trundling basics and not even being able to pay all the basics because my feelings an aspect of business, and I'd like to tell you it's because I don't have the backing or funding or equity or credit to bolster and boost all that. And whereas it's a large degree to my handicap right now, it's not the main problem. The main problem is never the availability of cash or cash flow, because if you really aim at it, you formulate a plan and you move forward. I did, it didn't work. I formulated the wrong plans and moved sideways or backwards instead. But I feel now somewhat justified. I haven't wasted 7 years of my life fiddling around, pissing away money, and never establishing myself. What I've done is I established some very important professional skills and skill sets and got a very appreciable job. I'm going to make Vermeer Manufacturing a good deal of money. On the prospect of that is fiscally, they're going to take care of me in good form at a good rate for the median income in my area. That's all I could ever ask for. Actually, I'm getting more than I could ever ask for. It's a very good company I'm getting in with. But that being said, 60 hours a week not working on restoration work. Well, if I'm working 50 hours a week, let's just say we're doing mandatory overtime indefinitely, 50 hours a week, I'm already putting in 80 hours a week. When the shop's moving and I've got things to do and I got the supplies I need to do things, and I'm not burnt out or depressed or so anxiety rattled with worry, I'm putting in 80 hours a week. Well, I got 30 hours a week knowing that my bills are covered, my family's fed, we have lights, we have heat. That alleviates 99% of my stressors. So I can come out here and do some real damage and enjoy it. I'm taking my own advice. I'll knock down that extra money a year doing this stuff as I need to. I'm not going to back away from the plan. I've got plans for the shop. My bigger plans are going to be in real estate. That's what I wanted to do a dozen or more years ago, and I never got the ability to bring it to fruition. Right when I was ready to pull the trigger, the market fell apart, and then I grenaded my life. Oh well. I'm 41 years old, and it's time to do something to establish myself in a little different light. Interesting side note, I'm going to leave it at this. I took the last year in very serious introspection. Questioned, I looked around, I watched other people's work, I watched the products other people were putting out in my arena, in my immediate vicinity. I did learn something. I never appreciated the skills I had to offer. And yeah, I'm tooting my own horn. I'm not being pretentious or a braggart. I'm just sharing observations. There's only a handful of people in the state, the broader area to where I'm at, that can do what I'm capable of with metal fabrication. They do it for hire. There are guys that do this for themselves, for kicks, that can whip me like a puppy as far as fabricating goes. But they're not for hire. The guys that do complete higher-end restoration and fabrication work, it's primarily stuff they can buy from a magazine and bolt or weld on. I've built parts that can't be found. I've saved parts that can't be replaced. There's not a lot of places that will tackle it, no matter the money involved. There's not a lot of places that were willing to deal with that, regardless of what the pay is, because they haven't the capacity. And my capacity is a born-in capacity. It's something I was blessed with. I feel very fortunate there. And I'm going to push forward with that. I'm going to pull a couple of beautiful 1959 Fairlane parts cars over here and strip them down over the winter. Everything proceeding as planned, maintaining the property and being able to live here and stay here. I'm going to pull these Fairlanes over and part them out. And I got a couple of other cars after that I'm going to look at and some other stuff. I got projects in mind. I just need to knock out what's sitting. Once I get knocked out what's sitting, bets are off. I've already got one project lined up, and I've got another project in the skirts right now that I have to bring in. My son wants a specific year, make, model. He's 14. I told him when he turns 14, we'll drag something home and build it together. That I will purchase the initial car, and he has to come up with the money for parts and materials, and we'll do it stem to stern. Pull it off the chassis and do it. So my life took an interesting curveball. I'm going to leave it at that. You folks have a great day. Find something that sings to your soul and go do it. But let me add the addendum. Don't allow that to interfere with bread and butter or family. I've done that for far too long. So for now, I'm signing off. And I'll be back. Don't know when. I'll be back.